Well, hey guys. Uh, yeah, I'm live. Okay. Uh, I hope this is not a problem. I had the one scheduled, and I may have made a mistake. I hit the button at 11:58, and it immediately said your live video has ended. So I don't know how this works exactly. Am I? Did you guys try and watch the scheduled one and it's not on, or no, this looks like what I had planned. It says let's interact. Okay, this is the Hoff Crazy. I'm I'm trying to turn that into a noun. What are you doing, Abe? I'm doing the Hoff Crazy. I'm doing the Hoff Crazy. That I want to become interchangeable with the Hoff Cast. Nothing wrong with Hoff Cast. I fallen in love with the Hoff Crazy term because Hoff used it, and he considers the David Hasselhoff support group to be a little Hoff Crazy. That's how he said it. Watch the video. He made that in April. I have no idea who made that, how that ended up happening. He gave us a big old shout out. 15,600 people. It seems like we're growing 50, 100. Every time I look, there's 50 or 100 more people in the David Hasselhoff support group, and this room is really part of that room. It's just a way to for the people that want to do live casting and experiment. We don't want to clog up the main room. That's going to be for posting, YouTubes and Hoff pictures and that kind of stuff. And I figured I I don't think it would be if we cast into that room. I think it would clog things up. Or I think it's better to have a separate room for us dingalings that like to go live. But I mean, Christine, she just does it from her feed. So far, I think it's just Lisa D and I have been experimenting with casting into this room, and I, it's very confusing. But let's just keep it simple. I think Lisa, you were like casting into several rooms at the same time. I think, and I sort of am because there's a thing called a fan page. That's the David Hasselhoff support group fan page, and pages are different from groups. All right, these two rooms, the David Hasselhoff support group, and this and the support group live group are slightly different than fan pages, and I don't quite understand the distinction, but I somehow accidentally have created a David Hasselhoff support group fan page, and that's what allowed me to live cast. When I tried to live cast from this uh, from this room, from this group, it said I wasn't allowed. And then I went over to the David Hasselhoff support group page, and it did allow me to Hoff Crazy Hoffcast livecast. So anyway, we got crazy storms going on here. I've uh, I've had to apologize to uh, showing up naked for the Hoff Crazy. No, I've not been naked, but it is so doggone hot. The heat, and here in the Kansas City metro, the humidity is just, I don't think it can get any higher. It's like you're swimming in humidity, and that just makes it 10 degrees hotter feeling because you don't get any evaporative cooling off your skin. Like if you go out to the desert, I lived in Las Vegas for a year. I attempted to be a professional card counter. That's a long story. Blackjack is a fun game. Anyway, I noticed you'd get out of the swimming pool, it'd be 104 degrees in the desert, and you'd be freezing because that water wicked off of your body so quickly. It was cold. So humidity is a big, big deal in how hot your body feels. So we finally got a break today. I mean, it got up to 78, 80, Still humid as crazy, but I opened up the house and let the fresh air in. God felt good, but now this rain has brought in nice cool temperatures, but it's wet and humid, so I'm cranking the AC. I don't think the noise affects my microphone too much. So I watched that little deal I did this afternoon, apologizing for uh, not being online last night. I was I was sound asleep. I woke up at 2 and I said, "Oh, I did feel bad. Keeping my agreements has become a very big deal to me." And it was actually kind of healthy because I watched one of these that I did 2 months ago, and I talked a lot about being in touch with the heart and letting the professor implement the heart, and I'd sort of forgotten about that. I'm going through these multiple stresses and travails, and between having my car stolen and having trouble getting it back, it's at the impound lot, and it's racking up fees every day between financial woes, car being stolen, my 6-year girlfriend filing a protection order against me that I don't understand at all. We never had a conversation that there was even a problem. So I went to court once on that. It didn't seem like it went too well. I'm totally willing to abide by a protection order. If she doesn't want any contact from me, I sure wish we'd had a conversation about it, and I sure wish she would have indicated, hey, this is not working out. Let's just go our separate ways if that's what we're doing. But I can't get any communication. I asked the judge for mediation just so I could have a conversation and find out what went wrong. I probably know what went wrong, but this all happened before. I think. Well, see, I told the husband I couldn't keep the secret. No. Okay, the protection order was after. Okay, I think it's a bit of spite then. The protection order was after I told the husband what had been going on for 6 years. All right, don't do this. Don't do what Haas does. This is Haas, Lisa. Don't be calling me Haas. Haas is that guy from Bonanza. Haas Cartwright. All right, I'm not Haas. I'm Haas. Hasselhoff. Haas. No biggie. I'd say I get Haas about 2/3 of the time because there's a lot of HAASs, and that is Haas. And there's a famous, like, a Danish company, I think, and they're Haas, and there's avocados called Haas, but they're all spelled, well, there could be an HASS that even pronounces that way, but this name came from Denmark, and my granddaddy, he was adamant that we pronounced it Haas. That's he was fluent in Danish, and he became fluent in English. Very smart man. He cleaned out his father's cash register at the general store in Copenhagen in 1915, and he bought a ship ticket. I found the ship manifest, and he came over here at 15 and made his way in the great USA. Got into the cavalry, was into horses and all that, and then his transformation of his day was the invention of the automobile. Boy, did he see the world change. He he writes about that, and it's the same way some of us older folks will be writing about, how the internet changed everything for us. I'm 60 years old, and I mean, most of my formative years are pre-internet. I remember it coming along in the 80s, and I could see the potential, and I was interested. I got into it pretty early. I was using DOS 5.0 and DOS 6.0, and then that very first Windows 3.1. I think that the 3.0 was the networking version of it, and I mean, it's all changed just so dramatically, and hardly anybody remembers those days. But that's boring. What are we going to talk about? I wanted to get some interaction tonight. I don't think anybody's in here. That stupid, that stupid FPS thing always. Well, I got one comment. That's my comment. We got 2 shares. I think that's me sharing it. I don't know. That's actually That takes the pressure off. I'm gonna open my beer. I've been saving this beer all day. I spent $1 on a big old can. This is called Natty Light. That was $1 for that baby. He's a little weak. He's like 4.2%, and I've had him in the freezer. I gotta be careful. He's gonna explode on me. Here we go. Okay. No, he's all right. So I think this is against the law in Kansas, but somebody's gonna have to arrest me. I'm gonna do it anyway. They have no proof that there's actually anything in there. No, it's not. It's not against the law. What's against the law is getting in the car when your BAC is .08. I still have that BAC meter somewhere. As you know, I have the blower in my car. That's been gone for a month now. The trouble is they towed it to the Kansas City, Missouri impound. The Bart and this gal that took it, they racked up all kinds of tickets that I'm having to deal with. They had it parked where it wasn't supposed to be, and that got it towed. So I got a couple of tickets I've got to deal with at the Kansas City, Missouri court. Tomorrow I've got court at 8:30 in the morning for telephone harassment. My lady friend, I just call her my 6-year girlfriend. That's what she is. She was. Maybe she's not anymore. I still have hopes. I have very strong feelings for her. And to have it just end without any definition or without any explicit, understanding, I guess sometimes relationships end that way. People just drift away and stop communicating. This is probably karma. I think I've done that to a girl. I think I just kind of lost interest and stopped calling. I think it was very, very hurtful on my part to have done that. I just didn't know how to be courageous and say, it's just, I don't feel like I want to continue dating. I mean, I'd like to maintain a friendship, but I don't feel like I'm going to have the intensity of closeness with you that I envision a romance as having. I want to be close to a woman. I really do. And I had some wonderful closeness of every variety, the physical kind, the emotional kind, the intellectual kind. We have we have so much in common. But it's quite complicated because there's a 30-year marriage involved. So this is not a simple situation. But I mean, my grand hope actually, this I feel I kind of had this as a motive when I told husband. I wanted it to come out in the open and see what would happen to their marriage. I mean, maybe their marriage will survive this. I mean, I made a bunch of recordings to her because I couldn't have a conversation with her, but I sent her all kinds of videos of me explaining things, saying, "Hey, if you and Mark, oops, no, that's not the name. If you need to stay together, it's, um, that's uh, that's understandable. There's a lot of family that's that's going to be hurt if this marriage ends." And my parents were married for 62 years. I'm a big believer in keeping marriage together, not just for yourself, but for the community, for the family. It's I never had to go through a divorce. No, none of my dad's sisters got divorced. My mom was an only child. She had some cousins. They never got divorced. One of my mom's cousins had a husband that flew in Korea, and he was shot down. He was a pilot in the Korean conflict, the Korean War, and he went missing in action, and he was never recovered. That was a big family tragedy because my mom was full of a family that had all the Cameron boys had girls, and Hein Cameron was the only boy, so nobody carried on the Cameron name. That was my mother's maiden name. One time she asked me if I'd consider changing my middle name to Cameron. I think I don't remember discussing it. I mean, that would have been fine with me. My middle name is Christopher, and my brother who took his own life, his middle name was Cameron, Mark Cameron Hass. Mark Mark is my son. Mark is my brother. Mark's name is on my mind. Anyway, hey, hey, Christine Draper. She's gonna watch me and she's gonna tell me three things I do well and one thing I need to work on. That's what I want from Christine. Anyway, I it's good to see you. I had a nice conversation with Christine on the phone. We need to interact more. That's the whole point of this. Is to get is to get interactive. I had anticipated maybe doing phone calls, but I don't have the technology to. If I did, I'd have to like when Lisa called me. I had this big old. It came in on this tablet. I had to hold it up, and I don't know which side the microphone is on. Or maybe the microphone's down here in this dangly thing. I don't quite know where the microphone is. So I want to get the technical stuff worked out before I get into accepting phone calls. And I mean, if I were to do it, if somebody called me, it would not be on WhatsApp. I have two WhatsApp accounts, and it's too confusing. It's my core contact number is the Hoff number 510-999 Hoff. Now that's also my WhatsApp number, but my WhatsApp doesn't come into this phone, but the regular telephones do come in to this phone, the 510-999 Hoff, but I think I have it turned off. I probably won't answer because I'm struggling to stay focused tonight. So, Christine, we're cracking 4.2. Oh, there's my phone call. Oh, it's Christine. All right, I got to talk to Christine. Yeah, here we go. Hi, hello, hey.
Hey, David, are
Hi.
you alive?
Hey, I'm live casting. This is good. I'm going to put you up to my ear. I think they can hear you over here.
Well, that's okay.
Can you hear me?
Of course.
What's that?
I said I can hear you, of course.
Of course. Okay, I thought you said that. Anyway, oh look at this. We got Christine. Am I on? Oh, I'm on. Hold your camera up to the. Oh, hold it. Oh, you can't because you're doing it through yours. See,
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
my camera is separate, Phil. I'm able to show people. Say hi to the people. Can you?
Hello, everybody.
That's hysterical. That is funny. Now, I hold it up to the ear because I think my microphone will pick you up. Because when I did Lisa 2 nights ago, Lisa's voice was very uh, uh, hearable, or what was audible. It was very audible when I held it up on this side. Well, I don't remember if it was this side or I think it was this side.
Sure, yeah. Can I go see my picture on your.
Absolutely. You ready? Here we go. This is Christine Draper. She doesn't know how she looks. Now, none of us know how we look because we've never done it with ourselves. So here's how you look.
Oh, I can't really see. Move
What?
it a bit more
Oh,
over.
oh, you can't see
Oh, well, yeah, because
because the light.
you're not holding your camera like right straight at the screen there.
Yes, it's straight at it. It's straight at it. I
All you
got.
can see is the live
Oh
dashboard.
well, that's the light. Let me turn it off for a second. Okay, how's that?
Um,
No, but no better. I see you
Hang on,
perfect.
just move it a bit more over to your right, to the right.
That's right. Is
The
that the?
camera.
Is the other way?
Yeah,
That way?
yeah. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
There I am, right there.
Wow. That's
Oh my
strange because
God.
you're right on the edge of my screen. So isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Now, does that slides you off the screen like that? You're off. Are you off the
That's
screen?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
No,
so
I'm
interesting.
good.
Wow. This is
Good.
it gets so confusing because now I'm looking at you. Now I'm looking at both cameras kind of at the same time. I don't want to touch my keyboard. So
Yeah.
I
Just like
think
the live video.
did you post something today? It seems like you said you were about to, or what was going on?
I did like a little live experiment earlier in the group.
Oh, what was the experiment? Can you explain it?
Yeah. Well, what I did was I just because I don't think I've ever done a live video by myself in a group before, so I just wanted to try it out and just say hello to everybody. And
Were you able to assemble any people?
no, that I had no viewers while I was live. Of course, I wasn't on. course, I wasn't on very long, so
Well, we're on the same wavelength. I've been exploring. They call it rooms now, and it
yeah,
appeared for a short while, and then it went away, and now it's back again. And
yeah.
I tried to do it last night, and I was able to get two other people in the room with me.
Wow.
So but now it's like the room has stayed open, and people are asking me, why aren't you in the room? I said, I don't even know where it is exactly. I don't know how to get back into it.
Yeah.
But it stays open even after you leave. And I accidentally like opened two of them. So I had two rooms open,
Okay.
and it doesn't give you any way to close them. They just like stay open, and people go in there, where are you? Where are you? I don't know.
There's no option, really?
I not that I could see. And I did a lot of button pushing and
Wow.
explored all the triple dots and every menu I could find. And I didn't see anything where it said close the room.
Wow.
So
Wow.
is
David,
that what you were playing with? Is the rooms thing? Was that the word they used?
no, I was actually doing a live video like what you're doing right now.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
what
I
would you
did the same thing.
well, is that where you have like a co-host and you try to add them?
No, I
Oh,
just did the live video from the room, and not from the room, from the group, and it was fun. It was fun. I really like this, David, because it really gives people an opportunity to connect with one another and just find out more about each other. And I really think this is really good. I'm really happy that you started doing this. I really
well,
am.
thank you. I want you to is it possible for you to feed your timeline into the room? Because I want this room to kind of be a gathering point of people that live cast. So I don't know if that's practical or not.
Yeah, I can probably do more live broadcasts from the room if you would like me to.
I think you I see I've never done it from my personal timeline. I think I'm doing it from a page, which is hard to explain what a page is. It's different from a group, but I am
Yeah,
able to they call it cross post to other
yeah.
rooms. I'm going into two rooms at the same time right now. But I don't know if you can do
Wow.
that when you live cast from your timeline. I'm not. I need to try that out and see what the options are.
Yeah, see, really, I don't really know, but you would probably have two different things going at the same time, like your tablet for one thing, or your computer. They have to be going at the same time, and
No,
then that.
that's not the
No.
no. But you see, this is now it's going into the David Hasselhoff support group page, and that's hard to
Right.
explain. And it's also going into the David Hasselhoff support group live group.
Okay.
It's going into
Oh,
two
okay.
places at once. They call it cross posting.
Oh, okay. I never heard of that before.
I don't think you can do it from your personal feed, and all of your live casting has been from your personal timeline, right?
Yeah, usually from my personal timeline, but I did do a live broadcast from. I actually went live in the group earlier tonight.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I mean that may be okay. It may not be necessary to have this separate room. I'm just trying to envision. Uh, it's. I mean, with 15,600 members, I think it's going to get cloggy if people start live casting in there, isn't it?
well, if people are live casting in there like at the same time, it might cause it to go like a bit more slower.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even know what think the problem might be. I envision when I'm in that room, I like scrolling. I don't want
yeah.
to stop and watch a live cast. So I was just
Hmm.
thinking that there's kind of different motivations for to be in one room or the other. If you want to watch somebody's live cast, maybe you'd come over here, and if you want to scroll and look for YouTubes, and there's a little more
Hmm.
flexibility. But I mean, if we had three people live casting at the same time in here, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting, and I think, like I said, it's a great opportunity for people to connect with each other and just have some fun with this. And you know what? I think in the world right now, it's very uncertain, and
Absolutely.
I really think that by bringing people together, we can actually change the world.
That's my whole passion is community. It really is.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree with you, David. I think it's wonderful, and if you and I can, all work together and try to get this community going.
Absolutely. You're a spark plug.
Well, I do my best. I don't know how smart I am, but I do my best.
Oh, you're not, I don't care about smart. I care about wise and deep and passionate. And yeah, you're intelligent as well. Your writing is fabulous. God, you're so journalistic and even like when you read funny journalism, it sounds just like yours did with that mouse story. That was just
Oh yeah,
that was classic. But how'd you start out? You started out with a really simple three-word sentence. Victory is mine or something like that.
yeah. Victory is mine.
That's
Yeah,
that's a classic way to start out a piece of writing. It's just short, punchy sentence like that. It was just
yeah,
it was marvelous, and then just the whole paragraph, and then dropping the f bomb. I mean, you're. I'm not saying you're prim and proper, but you're very conscious that that could offend somebody, but you used it in such a funny context. I don't see how anybody could get offended by you using it in that context.
yeah. I had a lot of feedback from that. Everybody saying, "Well, that's good for you," and I just
Oh,
I
I
just
think
like
it's. I always tell people, man, I love having that in my toolbox, and I use it sparingly because it feels so cathartic when I eventually do use it. The people that are dropping them all the time, they lose all their potency and they lose all their power and they lose all their punch.
yeah,
If you save those words for times when you're really, really put out, really,
right,
really excited, I mean that's when they help you feel the feeling even more deeply.
yeah. I completely agree with you on that one, David.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
language is a big deal to me, and I love your use of it.
yeah, yeah. Well, I try my best not to use it too often, but
No, you yeah you. I don't think anybody's going to accuse you of that.
I don't think so. So,
I don't think you're going. I've accidentally done it in a live cast, but I kind of want to keep them family friendly, so I think I kind of edit. I think I've accidentally dropped a few, but for the most part, I keep them out of the live cast.
yeah, yeah.
Unless something really astounding happened, then I probably couldn't help it. Holy crap! I'd have to catch myself. Holy fiduciary.
Normally it takes a lot for me to use the F bomb,
That's a big
and
one.
it
Yeah.
was my first time
Oh,
encountering with the mouse. I just I couldn't help it.
oh man, that aroused some intense. Do you just have like an instinctive fear of mice or a hate or I don't know? How would you describe it?
You know what? I really don't know because
It was novel. You hadn't dealt with a mouse before.
not in my not since
In,
I moved out on my own.
oh, I get it. Yes, it's a very novel, kind of frightening experience. Probably just the novelty and the weirdness of it.
Well, let's just say it had me on edge last night because here I am standing at my kitchen sink, and all of a sudden I see something going across my floor, and I'm thinking, I was like, "What the heck is that?" And I looked, and I knew exactly when I looked at it what it was, and
Oh, did it
I'm
stop
like,
and did it stop and take a look at you or look around?
"No, I just got kind of scared because I was
Oh,
thinking, I
God, I mean, it is weird. I know I've seen mouse in a house where I didn't expect it, and it was kind of freaked me out seeing a mouse where you don't expect it because they're so
yeah,
fast, and you're like, what? You kind of like have it's kind of surreal. You're like, what in the world is that?
yeah,
The dogs go nuts. If you have dogs, you don't have any animals, do you?
no, I don't,
No, I don't either. I've got a porch cat. Guess what his name is? He came in and visited tonight. I'm not supposed to have him inside, but I break the rules. His name is CAT.
oh,
So, I got I stole the idea from one of the guys I work with at the cold weather shelter. His dog's name is DOG. So it's oh God, what a good name. I got a, I got a,
yeah,
I got a porch cat. He was abandoned by the next door neighbors years ago, and my neighbor's been taking care of him forever. And he likes it outside. He'll come in and walk around for a few minutes, and I leave the door open, and he goes. He doesn't want to be in here too long. He's used to his freedom outside, so he did.
yeah.
She's got a little bed for him, and I got a little place he can get out of the weather, and he's in good shape. She feeds him, and he's in good shape. CAT.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, David, would it be okay if we change the subject and go back to
Absolutely. Talk
the
away.
Hoff stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how you feel about talking about it like in the live broadcast, but I just want people to be aware that there's a lot of people out there pretending to be Hoff,
Oh,
and
it's horrible.
it's getting bad.
It is.
Like,
The impersonators, the phonies, the fakes, the frauds. I can't even think of a
yeah,
powerful enough the effing con men.
yeah,
It's getting outrageous.
yeah.
What do we do?
Well, exactly. Like, what do we do? I've been trying to
I
report.
report them. I get on their page. It's all these like fan pages. There's a couple that are borderline because they don't exactly say they're Hoff, but the only stuff they post, the only stuff on their timelines is stuff from the phony pages. So I'm suspicious of them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly
Like
what you
there's
mean.
one called Fan Chat, and they don't claim to be Hoff, but the only stuff on there are the phony profiles that claim to be Hoff.
Yeah,
So I think they're
yeah,
part of the cabal, part of the phoniness. So I report them too.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've reported quite a few of them actually.
And I
Um,
know we're succeeding because if you see content is not available, have you
yeah,
seen some of those? That means they got taken down.
that's right. That's
So
right.
I know we're succeeding because I see that quite a bit on some of the pages.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just don't understand
Oh,
why
I
people
understand it. That's
they
human greed.
yeah, they're after money, and they think that they believe that if they use Hawk's name, they're going to get money. And
Well,
to me, that is so not right. That's
oh,
just not
it's
right.
so wrong, but you know why they do it?
Yeah,
Because it kind of works for
yeah,
on a few people. And I'll tell you that the people are a little bit to blame also. It's not. I mean, I hold 95% of the uh, of the fraudsters. They're 95% responsible, but
yeah,
5% of it lays on the person that the bully. Hoff is gonna talk to me personally and ask me for money. I mean, come on. When does a red flag go up for that person?
well, see, David, I'm gonna confess to you a little bit,
Yes,
and I'm not ashamed to admit it
you
now
got.
because I
You,
know exactly what is right. But I was actually one of these victims that were
of
so.
course.
I believed that it was
Oh,
the real David,
I've
and I was
I've been
genuine.
I've been taken in by other kinds of cons.
Yeah,
The women that pretend to be interested in you. I got sucked into a couple of those, and I'm pretty smart, but it's an emotional thing. They know how to push
yeah,
just the right buttons, and there's no shame in admitting that you fell for it. And it takes a lot of experience to understand that these are not real. If you're new to the whole game, then it's not going to be obvious to you. You and I have experience with the fraud, so it's more obvious to us,
yeah,
I think. But we have to keep
yeah,
spreading the word. I think that's the only solution. Keep spreading the word. Hoff has no private contact with fans. He will never contact a fan privately.
he can,
He can't.
he
It's
can. It's
his lawyers would have a fit.
yeah,
He's
it's security reasons too.
security. There's all kinds of legal reasons he cannot have private contact
No,
with
he
a
can't.
fan. No,
No,
he can't.
no,
He can't. He hasn't done it ever since Knight Rider days.
no.
He used to do the car shows, and that was he only at public events will he have contact with fans.
Yeah,
Comic Con and whatever the other public stuff is that he does.
yeah,
I'm very concerned about it too. It seems like it's getting worse.
yeah, yeah. I think so too, David. And
I
I don't
don't
know.
I don't think the big group you guys weed that stuff out, don't you? Because I don't see any of it on the main page.
Oh, I always like because I'm the moderator.
Yeah, you and
Uh,
B and
yeah,
Sandra.
yeah, yeah. I always decline any posts that I see that look kind of a little bit sketchy to me.
Good, good.
I get rid of them. Yeah.
The board seems so clean. Do you remember when it got all the spam? Like when I first joined, and
Yes.
I've had to join 3 different times because my Facebook
Yeah.
accounts always get. But it was just not. It was so much spam on there. And Sandra
Yeah.
She implemented the admin assist, and I'm just learning how it works because the other room's going to start getting hit because right now I have no restrictions on anything in there.
Oh, that's good.
But well, so far I haven't had anybody try to spam it. I've had one. I had one today, so I may have to administrative assist. Have you ever dealt with it? It's what Sandra uses to implement the rules about what's allowed to post and what's not allowed to post.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had to deal with any of that, but
It's pretty complicated. I've
yeah,
barely touched it, and it's going to take a couple hours of studying it for me to fully understand it. And until I have
yeah,
problems, I'm probably not going to bother.
yeah, yeah,
But I know the Hoff thing is concerning. It's
yeah.
it's
It
hard
is
it's hard
getting.
it's hard to gauge how big a problem it is. I mean, all we have really is our perceptions of it, right?
Yeah, I just feel bad for Hoff because like the real Hoff because all these people that are pretending to be him and some of them are saying stuff that is not even true. It's all sickening.
It is. It's kind of I won't say he likes it, but he knows to expect it. So his skin is so thick because
Yeah,
and yet he at the same time he's the most tender, sensitive man
yeah.
on the planet.
He's such a sweetheart.
It's so wild how he traverses that spectrum of impenetrable warrior down to just incredibly
Yeah,
sensitive man. He
yeah,
covers the whole spectrum. He really does.
yeah, yeah,
That's why I admire him so much because I watched it. I mean, there's not that many actors, TV actors that can pull up tears, and Hoff's tears are real, man. He can pull those
yeah,
up because he stayed sensitive. He even through all this fame and wealth and craziness, he stayed tender, and
yeah,
that's his marriage to Haley was so important because he was a lonely man. He talks about that.
yeah,
He was lonely. He didn't have a he didn't have an intimate connection. All of his connections were kind of impersonal and superficial. And he finally
yeah.
found a soulmate.
He even said in his own words that he was very unhappy without her. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and now that they met, it was so sweet how they met too, and I'm really happy that David and Haley found each other. And
Didn't you tell me
have
the
you ever?
outline of the story? It was he just saw her somewhere and tell me again what it was.
He was actually, he was actually one of the judges on Britain's Got Talent.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were in Wales, they were in Cardiff, Wales, and David was in a hotel there. He was doing auditions for Britain's Got Talent in a hotel, and of course he was taking pictures and photos with fans, and just meeting with people. And
Yeah.
Haley happened to be there with her sister out for little outing, and they seen all these other people going up and asking Paul for autographs and stuff. So they decided to do the same thing. So Haley and her sister,
It's
and I believe one of the sisters, I believe it was
wow.
Natasha Piper. Um, they both went up and asked Paul for an autograph, and David said to Haley, he said he agreed to take a selfie, to take a picture with Haley,
If
if she gave him her phone number
oh
for
my
her.
goodness.
Yeah,
And you know what? Hoff was actually nervous doing that. He is so shy with women. I've watched him when he was single. He's very
oh
shy.
really?
Yeah, even as
Oh,
famous, he still has insecurities about his connection with women.
I thought that he was actually so like so out there,
Well, he
that
is, but when it comes to the personal, intimate stuff, he's shy. He's very shy
yeah,
about his relationships with women.
yeah,
He's not. He doesn't take anything for granted. It's just because he's a big shot that women are going to fall all over themselves. That the women he want aren't going to do that. And Haley wasn't falling all over herself about him.
no,
He had to earn her respect and earn her admiration. Just
yeah,
being a TV star doesn't make Haley think you're all that. You got to have high character to make a register in Haley's book. You can tell she's a small town girl. I could tell by her demeanor.
Oh, well, she's from the city, and that's a small town in Wales.
Wow.
Yeah,
And Hoff loves that she's not part of the business. God, that's the last thing he needs is somebody that's in
well, yeah,
show business.
somebody who hasn't been in the spotlight yet.
It's
Yeah,
going to be a big adjustment. They've done pretty well, but I mean, that first year of marriage, I'm sure it was difficult. She's had to adjust to all the craziness. I mean, that's going to be hard for her, but she's done well, I think.
she has done well. She's done very well.
She's very gracious when the cameras are out. I've never seen her snap or show attitude. I'm sure it gets on her nerves, but she doesn't let it show that I've ever noticed.
No, no.
Hoff's so used
But
to it. I mean, it's just second,
yeah,
and he actually loves it. He loves the crowds, but what he realized is it's impersonal, and that's what I
yeah,
realized. That was the lesson I learned about fame because I was fascinated with fame, and I would have his
yeah,
clothes on, and people would see me from behind, and they'd come running up, and they'd be disappointed that I wasn't him, but they'd still want their picture taken, and I was like,
yeah.
wow, this is kind of cool, but it's so impersonal. It really has nothing to do with me. It has to do with them showing this picture to their friends back home, and it had more to do with them than it had to do with me. And it's the
Yeah,
same way for a celebrity. It's more about bragging to your friends that you got your picture taken with this person.
yeah,
That's a lot of it. That's not completely it. I mean, I have a lot of admiration for quite a few celebrities, and because of their all kinds of character qualities that I admire in celebrities.
yeah. Oh, my David, there's another thing I would like to talk with you, and this is a live broadcast.
Yeah,
But so everybody's going to see it, but I want everybody to know how I feel about what I'm going to discuss with you and how
very
you
good.
feel about it, David.
I love it.
But there's been quite a few people that have, that have said directly to me, and I've also seen it in writing, that people think that Haley is just with David for his money.
Oh, shut up. Tell him
How
to shut
stupid
up.
is that? How stupid is
How
that?
presumptuous is that? How the hell do they know what's going on?
Yeah, like why would they even
You
say that? Why
Oh,
would
I
they
know
even
why.
think that?
You know why? Because they would be with him for the money. That they are pointing a finger at themselves when they make that accusation. I've had this experience many times with people. The thing
Yeah,
they accuse others of, which isn't true, is what's true about them.
that that is true. There is a saying too. A person pointing a finger at another person has three pointing back right at them.
You just gave me the biggest body chill. There's so much truth in that.
Yeah,
That tells a lot about a person, what they accuse or what irritates them even about other people. It's not always true, but I've noticed it just within myself. If something's provoking me, some irritating me about someone, oftentimes it's a quality I have within myself that I've never fully acknowledged or recognized or been honest about, that I have a little bit of that in me too.
yeah,
Like, wealth used to be a big thing, and I used to be so insecure when women would talk about a man's wealth or a man's good looks, because I was insecure about my level of wealth and my level of attractiveness. And I'm a reasonable looking guy. I understand that, but I used to be really insecure, and it made me understand that now women can talk about wealthy men and and good looking men. It doesn't phase me a bit. I just think it's fun.
yeah,
So I worked on those parts of myself that felt insecure,
yeah.
and that's what
Well,
that's what these people that accuse, they are probably vulnerable. They would, what happened if a guy with a bunch of money and fame, asked you out on a date? Would you do it because he's famous and wealthy, or would you wait and see what his character is like? I don't think the people have a good answer to that question.
I would probably, to me, what would mostly they say like conscience of you guidance. My conscience would probably be telling me to just get to know him a bit before you make any decisions.
I agree. Let's have coffee together. Let's do a coffee and see if we even have anything to talk
Yeah,
about. I think
yeah,
I really think friendship is a better way to start out a romance. You know, a friendship that catches fire is how I've heard it phrased. Let a friendship catch fire with somebody you're really compatible with.
Yeah, well, see, this is how everything worked out well with me and my fiance. We were actually very, very good friends before we started dating.
I
Like we
thought
were friends
so.
for
Yes.
years, years,
That's
yeah,
lovely.
before we started dating. Yeah.
That's such a good rocket ship beginning, you know, and you guys had such a solid foundation you built a romance on.
Well, that's it,
I mean,
and
the friendship is the foundation of everything.
yeah, he just actually just he revealed to me about maybe a few months ago, just a few months ago, maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, that when we met back in high school, like we were in the same class, he had the feeling back then that I was the one.
That's cute.
That is,
Took, he's a little slow on the draw though. It took him a while to get the message out there.
yeah. Well, see, I was the one
Well, I'm
who
sure.
I was the one who expressed my love to him first, eh?
Well, that's cool. And
Yeah,
you knew, but you knew it was there in his heart. I mean, I don't think he would have
yeah,
done that if you didn't know he was going to reciprocate. I mean, you could tell.
yeah,
You could tell. I'm
yeah,
sure. That's a wonderful story. Sometimes
yeah.
women have to, with shy guys. Sometimes women have to take that much initiative. I mean, they know that the guy wants to. They know the guy so well. He's just too shy to come right out and sweep me off my feet. He wants to, but he's just it's not part of his nature to sweep me off my feet. But once I tell him, "Hey, I'm yours," then he jumps in and says, "Oh, I'm yours too. We belong to each
Yeah,
other. We belong to
yeah,
each other."
yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, we just have a very good relationship, and I've noticed since we started dating, like, a lot, he's actually come out of his comfort zone a lot, because he used to be more shy than what he is now. I mean, he's still shy now, but he's not as shy
You
as he
you've made
was.
it you've made him more balanced. It comes
Yeah,
across on camera. He's not afraid to talk on the camera a little bit, and
no, he's not. No,
he takes more initiative. I've watched him evolve
yeah,
during your live cast with him.
yeah,
He's a lot bolder and more assertive.
yeah, he's starting to, yeah, oh yeah, he's come out of his shell quite a bit. Yeah.
It's so much fun to watch you guys.
Uh, well, we're going to be doing more live videos at our local fair there that's be coming
Well,
up the beginning of September.
let's figure out how we can. I want them to be on your timeline because I want all your people to be able to see them. But also, I'd like to have maybe some Hoff related stuff, or it doesn't even have to be Hoff related. I don't. It all, you know, I'm not going to have everything be Hoff related that I live cast. I just
No,
I want it's a community room, and Hoff represents community to me because everybody he comes in contact with feels like they want to be alive and participate and be involved in the world. Hoff carries a sense of aliveness that I want to represent, and I want to create the aliveness that community helps foster.
yeah, well, and you know what? I think Hoff, if I'm sure he'll come across this live video that we're
He
doing. I'm
will.
sure he will.
He's
And
gonna
he's
he's
just,
gonna give us a shout out. He's we're we're creating community, and he's kind of our beacon. That he represents community to me, and
yeah,
he's.
exactly.
I mean, look how many millions of people sort of have the common thread of they enjoy his Knight Rider. They enjoy Baywatch. They enjoy his singing. I mean, he's created community just by the performing and the following his heart. You know, he followed his heart ever since he was 8 years old. And look how many people he's brought together around the world that have
Yeah,
something. We all have something in common. We resonate to Hoff.
yeah, well, that's it. I've also had people, a lot of people like that live over here in Canada that I know really well have told me that they did not know that Hawk could sing. They didn't
I
know he
know.
could sing. I really want to do something about that, change that.
I know.
But I don't know how to do that. Like, I want him to be able to come and do a concert
It's
at at the nation's capital, which is Ottawa, Ontario,
you.
which is about an hour away from my hometown. And if we can get enough people involved, I would love for him to come and do a concert
That's a
there.
great
And
idea.
I would
You know
love,
what would be a good venue? And this is how Hoff kind of got his foot in the door in the States, and it still never quite got off the ground, but he did so many like state fairs and big like state events where he was a featured performer? Is there something like that, like Lisa was saying something just happened in Canada in July that's a big deal every year. What is that event called?
She lives in Edmonton, Alberta.
Yeah, yeah. It may be
Oh, yeah,
regional.
they have a summer fair every year, and it's the biggest fair I think she said in Canada, and because I know from people who live in Edmonton,
Yes.
and they have a big, huge. It's called the Calgary Stampede.
Yes, that sounds like it. So did they have a big featured performer every year?
Well, let's just say they had someone there this year. Who was it now?
Somebody big?
Who did? Yeah, he's in the movies and everything, and he lives down in the states. He was just there.
Oh, he
Uh,
wasn't performing music. He was there like to sign autographs as a celebrity.
I think, yeah, he was doing something there. Oh, what was his name?
It'll come.
Something was telling something was telling me his name is Kevin Costner.
Oh, wow. Holy crap. That's a big name.
Yep.
I almost said the F bomb. No, I have a connection to Kevin Costner. I won't go into it right now, but I was invited to his wedding. And he's still married to the guy.
Really?
Yes, it's a crazy story. I wasn't personally. My
I wish I could find where I seen that because
He got married in Aspen about, God, it's been about 20 years now. It was a long time ago.
yeah. Well,
And
don't quote me about Kevin Costner, but I think I've seen something on the Instagram about that.
wow, I'll check that out. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
You got such good, we have such good kind of common threads that cross over each other. Well, do you think didn't they have some kind of a musical thing going on at the Calgary Stampede? They must have. I'll research that.
Oh, that they have a lot of things going on with the Calgary Stampede. Actually, my fiance has been to the Calgary Stampede,
Is it a
and
big
I know a
deal?
lot of other people who have been to the Calgary Stampede, and it is the biggest thing. It's like a fair, and they have
Yeah.
music, entertainment, they have
We
horse races.
we call it
Uh,
a state fair down here. I mean,
yeah,
especially the more rural states, they have big, huge state fairs every year.
I know they have a Florida State Fair.
Oh yeah, almost every
Yeah,
state has one, and they differ in size and magnitude. But
yeah.
do they have anything similar in your region?
Um, in
Because
Quebec, I'm trying to think of the
Edmonton is a
closest.
long ways away. How many hours is Edmonton from you? Like 20 hours away or something?
Actually, no. Well, if you're driving by car, it will probably take about because I know Barry driven out there by vehicle with a friend of his that was going out for work, and I think it took them about something like 3 or 4 days to drive out there.
Wow, that's more like 30 hours then.
Yeah,
That's like me driving to California. That's about a 35-hour drive.
yeah. Like if you take a plane,
Yeah.
like if you board a plane and board the plane and travel from Ottawa Airport to Edmonton Airport, I think it's something like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, that's what California is for me. It sounds like it's exactly the same distance as California is from here, and that's 35 hours by car and three and a half hours by plane.
Well, see, Edmonton, like Edmonton, Alberta, and out west and everything, I think it's more of Vancouver. Vancouver would have the same time frame as what California would because
Yep,
in Los Angeles,
it's called Pacific time.
they're 3 hours behind,
That's
and I know Victoria, British Columbia is also 3 hours behind.
Pacific time we call it. I think you guys call it the same thing, Pacific Standard
Yeah,
Time, and they have daylight savings, so they're on daylight savings right now. Do you guys do? Does Canada do daylight savings?
yes,
Okay, I thought so.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, man, I could talk to you all night. I'm getting to 55 minutes on my Hoff Crazy. See, I'm turning Hoff Crazy is going to come to mean Hoff streaming, Hoff casting. I'm trying to invent a term that takes on a meaning of its own. So this is my Hoff Crazy.
I can't wait to watch the live casting. Oh my god.
Well, you're setting me up for God. You're putting the pressure on. I don't expect much. Just me being spontaneous. God, this is perfect. I totally forgot the camera's been on for 30 minutes or whatever. So we're this all. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers that I have the phone in the right ear.
Yeah.
I think this is how I did it with Lisa, and I could hear Lisa. I haven't even really watched the one I did with Lisa, but I know I watched a little, and I could hear her pretty well with I turned the volume up.
Pretty well too.
Okay, hopefully you're coming in a lot stronger than her, and your articulation is really good. So I think everybody will be able to hear this. You're a sweetheart. I love that you called in.
Well, I had to call in because I figured everybody else.
Heck yes, heck yes.
My gosh, I don't miss David's life.
You're the best. You're the best. Now, eventually, it's going to be my WhatsApp. You just called on the regular number, right? You didn't use WhatsApp.
I actually phoned you on video chat, which is
Oh, that's right. That people can do it that way. That's even simpler than WhatsApp. For
I think so too.
for some reason, Facebook is pushing. I'm sure there's money involved, but Facebook is pushing that we use WhatsApp. And
Well, he catching me doing that.
well, it kind of conflicts with. I mean, why would you use WhatsApp when you have Facebook? I don't quite understand this. The strategy is kind of weird to me,
I
but
don't understand either.
I think there's stuff going on behind the scenes that some kind of business decisions or whatever. I think they're gonna. I bet you they're gonna phase out video chat and try to make everything WhatsApp because WhatsApp is not that big in the States or Canada, but it's huge around the world
Yeah.
because a lot of people do not have long distance service. So
Yeah.
I better let you go. You got something dinging on you.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm hitting 56 minutes. I'm going to say goodbye and talk to you offline soon.
All right. Well, it was great to doing this live broadcast.
So fun. I'm gonna. You got it. Well, you can't accept a phone call during your cast because you're using your phone to do the cast. You got to do it from Barry's phone, or we got to be able to call you on Barry's phone or something.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
Well,
I'm so glad you called. We'll talk more about the Hoff problem. I'm with you. I'm very concerned about it.
yeah.
I don't know. I think just getting everybody on board to see. I also do a GIF that says fake or phony or scam.
Yeah.
I do these big GIFs. Have you seen any of them?
Pardon me.
I do those graphic files. When I see a fake one, instead of just leaving fake profile, I find a big, huge GIF that says phony or scam or liar. And it's one of those big old huge boxes, that has that says scam or fraud and I leave that underneath, and I do about 2 or 3 of those. So anybody that looks at the post claiming to be David sees fraud, phony, scam.
Yeah, I did see those actually. Yeah.
So there's that girl named Sonia that's always saying fake profile. I'm trying to get her to. God, she spots a lot of them. Do you see her name, Sonia? Somebody?
Oh yeah.
She needs. I want her to start putting up graphic files that say fake, phony, because she's almost every one she's puts fake profile under.
Yeah.
So good to talk to you.
It's always so good to talk to you too, David.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah, sounds good.
Guys, that was Christine Draper. She's a good one. She's a good one. Bye. There's Christine.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know how to hang up on you. You have to hang up on me. uh, all right, guys. Thank you. That may not be interesting. It was interesting to me. So uh, hopefully I could enhance the sound if it's not good. I'm going to get it so we don't have to do it such a clunky way. There's some way you sound guys, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out how to splice or tap or feed. What do they call it when you bring in another line? I mean, radio stations, I listen to a lot of talk radio and they do that all the time. So that was a wonderful 1 hour. I don't care if anybody watches or not. Me and Christine had fun, and I'm going to post it now. I'm going to do it right at the 1 hour mark. We're going. Oh yeah, we're going the new midnight, 11:59 p.m. to the new 1 a.m., which is 12:59 a.m. it's, I'm only halfway through this. What kind of broadcast was this? I was too too busy. All right, you guys, I love you. I love you. Come on, 12:59. I want to get off the air. I know what you need. My send off. One more. One more. Good night. Good night.